I opened up Animal Jam Classic to check out the newest update for the Night of the Phantoms, aka Animal Jam Halloween 2025. And there were some new things in the game, like weekly items in the Phantom Vortex each week. Classic now has new pets, animal coins, and wait, what did I just run across? While looking at what else was new this year, I discovered something we have never seen before. It's called the Phantom Emporium? I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, so we're just gonna call it the Phantom Shop for the rest of the video. I just want you guys to note though, I do not play Wild as much as I do AJC, so I might be missing out on some lore or some important stuff. I tried to research as much as I could, so I just wanted to put a little disclaimer there. But I decided to do a little bit of a quick search for the Phantom Shop, and I found nothing for Play Wild. Page states that the arrival of this party was October 3rd. The day it arrived in Jammas, which happens to be the day that the game was updated. So this is completely new to everybody in the Animal Jam Classic world, and it does not exist in Animal Jam Play Wild. On the fandom page, it showed what the party looks like, the inside of the shop, which was empty, and a newer designed looking message about the Phantom Shop. So I did some further research on the Phantom Shop update page in the Jammas Journal, and it states that the party is new and elusive, which means hard to find. They make sure to also include that the party is made by the Phantoms and that the party will occasionally slip into the party list. My reaction to reading this was, well, when does the party appear? I took a look at the party list, nothing showed up. I decided to Google it since it's, supposed to sneak into the party list. And I found a Reddit page. Some Reddit user posted the supposed times and dates of when these parties are supposed to appear. So I waited for the party to appear, and it never did. I stayed up until 1 a.m. for no reason. Aside from items and the dates that this shop is supposed to come in, I started to inspect the shop itself. Not just the carriage, but the little guy beside it. That Phantom looks familiar to me. That Phantom is from Animal Jam Play Wild. When I first saw it, I knew it was in the other game, and it was originally introduced in Play Wild. The NPC names, or rather what it is referred to in the Animal Jam Play Wild fandom page, the only page I could find on this character, by the way, you can see him standing beside a shop in Play Wild. According to the fandom page, his name is Spiky Phantom, and Spiky Phantom is an NPC that looks after one of the 3 question mark shops in the Phantom Dimension. Which is very weird that, Halloween's coming in Classic and this guy shows up from the Phantom Dimension. I believe that this shop is hinting at a bigger picture. Not only that, but in this update, we have a page of the newspaper regarding Greely. I need you guys to stay with me here, though. Stay with me. I decided to start my research of Greely, starting with his retirement and the light versus dark side. Specifically, what events happened between both games. He resigned on October 29th, 2023 in Animal Jam Classic due to the light side versus dark side. The difference between both games is Play Wild players were actually able to vote on which side they wanted to use. So I found a screenshot of Greely talking about Jammas 2 years ago. He quotes, "When we wield our dark side, we connect ourselves to a power we have long forgotten." That particular screenshot is in Animal Jam Play Wild. What is he talking about with the dark side powers? Alright, so we definitely know for sure that a pinpoint in both games were the fact that Greely resigned due to light side versus dark side and had disagreements between the alphas. We know for sure, clearly, both games are separate. They have different animals in Play Wild, mystical animals, and there is a clear difference between both of the games, graphic-wise. There is always going to be similarities because it's the same universe. So this led me to look into another big event, and this is the Animal Jam Eclipse event that happened during the complete solar eclipse in real life. It was held in August of 27 everywhere in Jammas. This was also something that happened in Animal Jam Classic. In AJC, not a month after the eclipse, there were lines of power starting to show in Animal Jam Township. Club Geos was destroyed by the eclipse on October 12th, 2017. I want to mention that these lines that destroyed Club Geos were blue lines, and those blue lines happen to be very familiar to the balloosh blue lines that we see in balloosh. So this was before balloosh was introduced. Balloosh was introduced in March 1st of 2018, and I want to mention, right when I walked up to Balloosh current day, there were Phantom books sitting right up there. On the fandom page, we see a reoccurring theme of hidden Phantom items in Balloosh. Even for the Jamalidays, there is a Phantom with a Christmas hat on. Just makes you question, what exactly is Balloosh? In August 16th of 2018, Juno finally appears for the first time, after Balloosh was introduced. I did some more research of my own into the Balloosh Temple to see who exactly Juno is. So I went to the Forgotten Archive. In the Forgotten Archives, I found a paper referring to how every Animal Jam species in Jamal is given a heartstone. That means foxes, wolves, bunnies, every species. The jewel was given to each species, containing the secrets of those species. And that led me to my next question: why did Juno have the direwolf's heartstone? Maybe it's just me, but I couldn't find any information on Juno's past besides what was left in Balloosh. Greely refers to Juno as a great warrior after reading this story. I read this story and I'm simply not sure if that's the complete truth, and honestly, I don't know. So the lines of power reemerged in August 31st of 2023, and these reemerged around Jamal Township, around the fountain, glowing a purple, unlike the previous blue. And Greely mentions how they are inverted lines in Classic. Greely also mentions that the Phantoms tangled the line. He points out his confusion on why they decided to do that and not attack Alpha headquarters, which is just, right there. So another note from Greely back in 2023 was mentioning, if Phantoms are able to cross between their dimension to ours, what other dimensions have they crossed to? Greely mentions how Jamal has been in peace, how Phantoms have turned their eyes to different worlds. He also mentions how the Phantoms are able to keep the portals open, that they are drawing off of some sort of third party. This is shocking to me that Greely mentioned this back in 2023 about different worlds. Greely mentions how he comes to pay respects to the statue, yet the energy feels off to him. Perhaps Juno's spirit moved elsewhere. Then he finally says, there is a world, in all caps, very much like the land of Jamal. This was in the 2023 update, so let's look at 2024. In AJC, I couldn't find anything that was new or out of the ordinary, but in AJ Play Wild, there was some lore going on for some time regarding Peck getting stuck in the Phantom Vortex after following Greely. Peck went after him to apologize and find him, but Peck was then captured and trapped. In a later update, Greely was the one to rescue Peck, and they returned together. I remember at one point seeing Classic come to Play Wild back around April of this year, so I did some digging on Instagram and I found an official post from Animal Jam. A distortion in space has given Animal Jam a more classic look. That brings us to the current day, 2025, the newest Night of the Phantoms update in Classic. There's an update from Greely in the newspaper. Greely talks about it further in the Temple of Balloosh, where he appeared at. He automatically confirms his earlier theories about there being another Jamal Township that the Phantom's eyes were on. This township, I think it's Play Wild. That the fact that Animal Jam Classic's Jamal Township has been peaceful is because they are attacking the Play Wild Township. In the notes, right before he reaches this other Jamal, he is drawn to a path with no Phantoms, and he spots, for the first time living, to my knowledge, Juno. He states that Juno was resting in the darkness, not a still statue. Greely says that Juno seemed to recognize Greely. Out of respect, Greely bows his head, then Juno says, time has found them again. Suddenly, the space bursted with light. Greely saw a bright corridor that Juno walked through, and suddenly, Greely was back in Animal Jam Classic. A place that's called the Dungeon Cavern that was added to Play Wild October 4th, 2024, looks super similar to Balloosh's temple in Classic, doorway and everything. The location of the Dungeon Cavern is called, I don't know how to pronounce. There is just too much similarities between Balloosh and this place. It made me remember what Greely said previously in Animal Jam Classic, that it was too peaceful in the Classic world, that the Phantoms turned their eyes to another Jamal. That other Jamal, from my research and speculation, has to be Play Wild. With that being said, what is Animal Jam doing? Are they trying to combine both games through lore? You know, there's a lot of questions. Doing all this research has made me extremely curious on what the future of both games hold. I think that maybe they are trying to combine both games in some way, but it also makes me wonder what they're up to and why. It's definitely something that's a bigger picture since I've dated this info back to a couple years ago. I have a lot of questions, so much that I can't even answer myself, but I definitely know there's some sort of bigger picture. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like I said, this is just me kind of throwing a bunch of stuff that I've researched together and kind of making a conclusion assumption. So, like, you know, I definitely don't have, like, solid proof. But I wanted to point this out because I haven't really seen anybody else talking about it. So, yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comments, and bye!